Hi everyone. Okay, I'm outside because it's probably the best place to do it. Everyone's working at the moment inside, and so, um, Chad, Khan. Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to you is how do we get what is going on what is going on here in Australia? So 2020, what happened in 2020 is the destruction started in the east and then went to the southeast, that kind of thing. And so I have explained that before, that the wood, this is in what we call the magic low shoe, okay? It's just called the magic low shoe, but it is the laws of nature and it's what makes the world go round. So when I say, no, this is not going to end, and in the workshops I did say how challenged we're going to be this year as the country or the state in the southeast elementally. So the destruction started there, but here, as I have said before, this is the wood, it's like the rope, and the person at the top hung us with that rope. So that's 2020. That went on to then 2021, and 2021 we have a worst energy, and the worst energy is, and yes, I have been saying it in the workshop and explaining it maybe a bit more, but just so you know that it is difficulties, it is obstacles, and it is destructive. When we say destructive, we don't have an army to actually beat. So for us, destruction today is bankruptcy. Victoria is going bankrupt. So that's how I'm relaying it to you elementally. Alright, so with that, alright, let me just grab this for a sec. So with that, you know now that, okay, music's in the background. Alright, so with that, it will help you understand why Victoria is copying it the most, okay? Because that energy, so in the workshops I've explained, the southeast, you need, for the year you need to put your bells. So this is how important the bells are in the southeast of your home, your business, or just a shed. Even if it's a shed you hang out in, you need to put the bells in the southeast. It's that tingling. And for some of you, hi Judy, for some of you, you know, this is like the 60-year turn. So exactly 60 years ago, you know, we had this upheaval 60 years ago. We also have the same as what is happening in this new moon. We had planets reset. The same way they're resetting with this new moon. Because that's what the Ox is about. It's about action. We also 60 years ago had the first sit-in protest. So the sit-in protest. The pill was born. So something else will be birthed. Not the pill, but something else will be birthed as well. Kennedy was elected at 60. TV was called a wasteland. So think about that, because now social media is the wasteland, because it's not serving us, it's serving somebody else. Okay, and that's how it works. The thing here is that 6 that is there has now moved into the center. So in the center, none of them care. Okay, no member will care. Okay, and that is what this is. So then we have that as difficulty, obstacles, destruction, and this is anyone at the top. But what we have next to that is that. So do you see why it's so hard this year to get back where we're supposed to get? So like I said in the workshops, start small and build it big, because that's what we're back. We're back to the 60s, where everything had to start small and build big. And I use the example of cupcakes. You bake cupcakes, you go to your local, you post it around you, 5 kilometers if you have to. You only deliver to 5 kilometers. You know, from that 5 kilometers, someone else can pick it up from 5 kilometers. You just have to do this. It's like the whole world becomes a co-op eventually, that one delivers to the other. Okay, so this is why we are copying it. And plus, as I've already mentioned millions of times, the energy is exactly on top, the same as last year, but it's only for the month. So here's the people at the top, yield the sword, lock you up. You can still walk out, but you're still locked up as you walk out, even though this has a different energy under it, which is the tiger. So what happened yesterday when you were told that, people pounced and they're going to protest everywhere for the whole 5 days. So no one's going to stop, because we did have the same thing, as I said, 60 years ago. The protests were huge. Wherever it could happen, it did happen. The other is when next month comes in, I know everyone's thinking it's just for 5 days. Wrong. That 5 days will turn into another 5 days, another 5 days, and it'll keep going. But then, when next month does come in, it is actually what the year is about. And so, although I'm just going to touch on it, you will get the drift. So you're on your own, you're still locked up in a different way, okay? It's not bars, but there are sections you can go and you can't go. And then, yes, when you try to stand, you're standing with one leg only. So if you look at this, some people have said it's the 5G tower, it's the electrical tower, etc. If you also look at it harder, this is basically the vaccine. So you won't be allowed to go out without it. That's what the year is telling us. The ox underneath is a little bit different. The tiger underneath that is a little bit different. But that's basically what you're being told. That without this, you can't go anywhere. That's what the year is, and that will be what March is. And if people don't want it, what you don't know is the state of emergency is already done and dusted. So they need an excuse. And so they find these clusters. The clusters in their own heads, we all know that. But this is why. So think about that. It's a new moon. Go out. Ask for the doors to open. What door do you want to open? Ask for that. That kind of thing. You know, yesterday I was going to Myrtleford to do a couple of workshops, a few days, etc. So I turned around when I heard I wasn't going anymore. The thing is, now I think about it, I could have gone. It just would have meant I'd have to stay there till Thursday. But if I did stay there till Thursday and they extended it again, I'm stuck there. And I wouldn't have mattered. I'd be there with Tegan and Liz. It would have been beautiful. But that's, yeah, it's not viable. So again, do what you can do, what you have to do, etc. But really, you're not getting out of this intact, is what I should say. All right. So that's why we're up that creek without a paddle, and that is it. So hopefully that helps you that little bit more to understand why we're going further. This is bankruptcy. Victoria is in bankruptcy. Can't do anything about that. All right. If you think about it, 9 years ago it happened as well, similar to that. So if you go back to certain years, yes. So for you, go back to, as I say in the workshops, 2009, 2011, and try and make it to a workshop. There's so much information, you know, those that have been, please say how much information you got from that, because I don't put these on for the fun of it, okay? So this is why. Now it's your turn to figure out what you're going to do. It's not going to be the same at all. Even I have to figure out something else. So, and I'll work on that. Okay. All right. Have an amazing weekend.